Well, we may be back to the correct intro screen today, but I'm not sure we're back in flying form. We've won our last couple of games, albeit not convincingly in the league, and even those where we have got good results, we've made tricky work of it too. There's 2 points separating us and a second place side in the league table at the minute, but it's all very tight up there for now. We've also got Hamburg in the Europa League, which will not be easy work on Thursday night. Yes, hello, and welcome along to part 42 of the Coach's Head with me, Daniel. We return today with some of the usual problems, including mixed form, Oliver Valadson out injured at right back again, and just a number of little concerns where things aren't ticking over. Yes, we've beaten an average semi-pro side 9-0. Yes, we came back to beat the bottom side in the league last week, but that does not tell the full story of where we are at the minute. Those that thought this was going to be a Copenhagen job where we come in, we win against all of the bottom half and just blitz clear of the league is not the case at all. We're averaging about 2 points a game. We're not far clear of the sides below. And in truth, no one's really doing enough to win the league. We're just fortunate that at the moment we're on top. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on in this one, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Two big games in two competitions as we face Rijeka in the league, followed by Hamburg in the Europa League. And then 6 days later, we've drawn a side who are surprising everyone in second in the cup as well. And it's followed by Varadin, the champions. And Braga is a horrible run of fixtures. Let's start by having a look at the schedule though and seeing what's been going on since you were last here. Because yet again, the European hangover has struck. You were with me as we lost to Lazio and bounced back against Hajduk Split. We then followed it up with what should have been an easy win against Turkish opposition in the Europa League. We were 4-0 up with 9 minutes to go, and we ended up time wasting and being fortunate not to be 4-3 going into stoppage time. As it was, we conceded 2 goals in 3 minutes. Ted Kerr dropped one through his hands, and we were back in trouble. It really wasn't pretty to be 4-0 up in 81 minutes and still not be confident you're going to win. That is a really tough position to be in. As it was, Beto Tagzev and Timmy Cooper got a goal each. And in Vukovar at the weekend, we were held to a 1-1 draw. We were fairly fortunate to get that with Beto as well. They're what, third bottom of the league? Yeah, they're in eighth. I mean, we don't look convincing against anyone after Europa fixtures. In the first team, though, we have recovered since the international break. 2 of the easiest games on paper. Bottom of the table in the league, we won by 5-2. Beto and Medina getting a brace and one for Suslov as well. And then 9-0 against Technicar, lower league opposition in the cup. We rotated in full with Clara getting us off the mark. 4 for Malajo, 2 for Samartic, 1 each for Fafana and Dunjic as well. Lots of goals, lots of quality, but against no level of real opposition. So how do you judge it, to be honest? We've got 2 tough games today. We've got a pretty tricky month and a half in truth. Braga's tough. Istra we struggled against as well. And then even after this one, our next episode is Osijek at home and Hoffenheim in the Europa League. So a very German feel to it in the next few episodes, but 2 tough games regardless. Let's go and get through to the first of ours today and see whether we can stay at the top of the table. We've had, 3 days off, but we've managed to rest everyone in a week. So hopefully we can keep fresh legs out. Well, for all of the next 3 games, really. Then maybe we have to make decisions against Varazdin and against Braga. The dynamics are looking pretty good. I want to try and take advantage where we've got 5 days off before a Europa League match. Because in the Europa League, when we're at home, we've got to try and pick up results. If we have a look at the competition screen, we're on 3 points out of 6. Our goal difference is in the negative because of our defeat at Lazio. And we mentioned some of those away games we've got. Hoffenheim, Real Sociedad, we're not going to be picking up many. Rangers at home, Sarajevo away, both chances. Same for Braga and Hamburg at home. It's where we've got to deliver. So let's go and get through to the first one. Rijeka in the Croatian First Division. Can we get ourselves a little bit of a buffer at the top? Rudez are going to Vukovar, who we struggled with. But Rijeka are one of those sides that could chase us down. So the more distance we can put between them, the better. And then tomorrow, we can sit back and watch as Osijek have a home banker. And in 7th and 6th go head to head. But for now, through to the tactical meeting, through to the team selection. What 11 can we put out? And we've got to be quite careful with Europe as well, because we know Bjorkan can't play in the European games. Maeda the same. And we know Moraes is just coming back to fitness. So I'm going to make a couple of adjustments to this. You can see Araujo had been back in. I'm going to make a few changes. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. Well, I've had to take the ultimate gamble today of no sub-goalkeeper because despite the injury problems for it in FM24 and Ted Kerr's poor form, Gennate has got an injury on the bench, so he drops out. I've gone for the first 11, but I've got all of those who won't qualify for midweek squad on the bench so they can come on if need be. That includes the likes of Bjorkan, Quezada, Maeda, the attacking midfielder and striker, so on and so forth. Araujo's not going to do 90 either, but I want to get him half a game. So let's submit the team. This is what we've gone for. It is Kerr in goal, Araujo and Simic the fullbacks, with Bichel and Aver the new first choice centre halves. Tagsef in alongside Diambu with Medina and Malaysia out wide. And then it's Suslov behind Beto up front, who's just starting to find his goal threat now, albeit most of them from the penalty spot. He's scoring them, which is enough for me. Well, 7 changes for our host today. Let's see how we got on against them, because this is a side that I would fancy us to beat in normal circumstances. There's not a European hangover, and we didn't start the first 11, but we did play in midweek, and that seems to be all that matters sometimes. Hopefully, though, while we're not winning games all the time, we're not playing brilliantly, we are generally picking up results. It is draws more often than defeats in the league. So let's just hope we can keep that going. We've looked a little better since changing to this shape, albeit we do still dominate games very little, and we do still concede goals when we aren't supposed to. But for now, we're still finding a way, and we've finally found a threat from attacking set pieces. Bichel rises highest to head in. It was a brilliant header from the set piece, and after so much of this season tearing our hair out at the other end, it is nice to get one go for us. And with 20 gone, we've not been that inspiring from open play. It was lovely to be ahead, albeit by a set piece. As Malaysia tries to get in, it's a short back pass for Beto. And now it's 2 goals that are an absolute gift in truth. One of them a header from a set piece. The second a back pass that's too short. And in a game that we've had to do nothing in so far, it's 2 shots on target, it's 2 goals. And it should be job done. At home, we are starting to find a little consistency. And that's going to be crucial because we've got some tough away games coming up. And now the floodgates are opening. Rijeka are looking poor. Maybe they had to play a strong team in the cup in midweek. I don't know. But Malaysia's made it 3. They are falling apart. Who did they play in the cup? Did they get through? They played against Dugo Salo. And they changed 7 players. So no, I'm not quite sure about that, to be honest. We'll take the result either way, though. We've done nothing other than have 3 shots on target. Luckily for us, they've all ended up in the back of the net. It's a long ball over the top from Rijeka. Don't be fooled, though. We do love to concede a goal. You've seen that here plenty this season already. It's still not wholly convincing, but it's better in this shape. It's better in this tactic. While we're not having as many shots in a game, we're not dominating as much. We're certainly conceding far less at the other end. And we're certainly having a bit more of a threat with Aver in the team from set pieces. That one just bundles down and hits him. 4-0, right place, right time. And this is edging towards our most convincing league victory of the season. I don't remember us having a half like this so far this year. 1.5 the expected goals, 5 the shots on target. 4 of them in the back of the net though. And we are very comfortably on our way to 3 points. And perhaps when we get to the hour mark, if that's still the case, we can rest 3 or 4. Araujo we're not going to do past 60. Suslov, Malaysia, even the 2 holding midfielders all looking a little bit fatigued. But don't forget, we were 4 up in that Europa League game and we almost threw it away. I'm not going to count my chickens just yet. We've also got a very weak bench compared to normal because 5 players have to be on there that are homegrown at the club and none of them are great, or in the nation, sorry. And Rudez in second have just gone 3-1 up as well. They're flying. Let's have a look at these subs. Araujo, a right back, will be replaced by Puklin. No need for risk. Malaysia will be replaced on the left-hand side by Maeda, who can't play in midweek. Quezada is one of those as well. He will come on for... Who recovers the best out of these 2? Neither of them. Wonderful stuff. Simic recovers quickly, so I'll leave him out. And we'll also go for Suslov. So all of the midfield central 3. But who can we bring on for them? In the holding role, I'm going to go for Quezada for Tagsef. I'm also going to bring on Sulkic. I think they'll have to go the other way round. They do. And then either I push Simic forward and maybe take off Suslov there. But then even then, who plays number 10? Bjorkan is the man I would want to bring on. I don't know if there's a way I can do that, so it might just have to be Fofana. He'll come on for Suslov, and in the next game in the Croatian Cup, Bjorkan can just play 90. We've still got Moraes back if we need a sub for Thursday night on the left. So that is what I'm going to do. It's a very nice position to be in. 4 up with 25 to go. And at the moment, this has been probably the easiest game of the season, bar that Azerbaijani game in Europe, the first qualifying rounds. They've offered next to nothing here, Rijeka. I'm a bit surprised they're 5th in the league, but it seems to be the pattern we're finding with this division. You'll get teams that go from the sublime to the ridiculous, that are incredibly inconsistent, and we're one of many examples of that. As Simic looks for Maeda, often the super sub. This time he sets up Beto, who has missed the empty net. I'm not quite sure how he hasn't scored there. He's got 1 to his name today. It's a miracle it's not 2. And Rudez are struggling to hold on for their 3-2 lead. 10 minutes remaining. Puklin's got a free kick on the right to Sulkic. He's kept possession there despite a bit of pressure. Falls for Fofana. And now by Shell. Support down the left-hand side. Looks for Simic. Again, just confident to keep possession. Not really trying to go anywhere too fast. And here is by Shell again. Into Aver. No pressure on him. Rijeka very much in damage limitation mode. You can see them with 11 behind the ball here. Puklin just chips it over to Medina though, and they've not defended it well as Fode Fofana gets in the box from that number 10 role. You can see Maeda piling in behind him as well. He was ready to put it in, but Fofana does the trick. 5-0, I think our biggest league victory of the season, and what a time to do it. In the warm-up to Thursday night football, where we'll inevitably have another hangover after. It was nice to be able to rest some people and to get a very comfortable victory. 5-0 against Rijeka, the scoreline. Now let's move on to Thursday night, where Hamburg, I'm sure, will provide a slightly tougher test. Let's see if we get any injuries in the meantime. If not, we'll be back in a minute for that one. Well, unfortunately, we won't have Dyson Maeda to fall back on to avoid the hangover next week because he is out injured for a few weeks alongside Valadson now. If we go through to the fitness tests ahead of Thursday night, we've got a goalkeeper fit enough for the bench and Hugo Moraes the same. So let's see what squad we can put out. Not needing 6 homegrown players helps here as well because we can actually put a decent bench together. But the 11 that played at the weekend is pretty much all fit. And with Araujo building his fitness every time, it is nice to see us getting back to full strength. So the 11 is definitely going to stay the same. Gane will come back in for Bjorkan, Moraes back in for Quezada, and Maeda drops out for Samardzic, leaving the 11 pretty strong. The bench as good as it can be. It's the only 12 available, so let's hope they can do the job. At home to Hamburg, this is a decent team. If we can compete at this level, will give me hope we might be able to get through, because these home matches against good but not great opposition are really going to be the tester for us. Well, as we know, it's the same 11 for us, but there are some interesting names in the Hamburg team. You've got the skipper, Ludovic Rice, who has scored goals against me in several careers. Pablo de Joffre, a centre-half. We actually managed at Bournemouth in the alternate career, the actual head coach at the start. Diogo Leite is a good centre-half. Pembele at right-back. We know the quality he's got. He's played in England, of course. And Jonas Krumrie, the goalkeeper, who was signed by Bayern Munich in our final stint of the original head coach too. So a lot of familiar names. What are we going to do against them? It's a good side. It's a full bench. It's a loaded German league, of course. But if we carry on our form from the last match, boys, we've got a chance at home. And that's what I need you to deliver. Forget about the Europa League theme music, the beautiful graphics and all of that. Just get out there in the first half and do your job. And don't get deterred by all the other stuff. Can we get it comfortable? Can we win? And then maybe not give away 2 or 3 goals in quick succession. As Araujo gets down the right, what a great return he's been. Into Medina, lovely run at shots at Krumrie, who he gets down well to his right, but it's a comfortable height. And with 10 minutes gone, I kind of wonder whether a draw's a good result here. Do we throw all of our eggs in the basket of maybe beating Sarajevo and one other? But you start to ask, who is the one other if we keep going at this rate? Varazdin, our Croatian counterparts, unfortunately are struggling. They're 1 down. But it does seem the onus is on us to try and get through. As Pembele gives the ball to his wide man and he hits it off the bar. Goal kick, keeper was beaten. And in truth, they got in far too easily. Let's encourage these boys. I'm trying to avoid those touchline shouts, knowing they're going next year. TNS doing a job in Europe again too, as it's chipped forward towards Simic from Suslov. Lovely quick play down the left. Can we get the cross in? Simic to the byline's been forced to the corner flag. Cuts it back to Tagzev though. Nice drop of the shoulder. Right to Simic on the left. Good cut inside. Tagzev shot the flex off everyone, including Victor Malajo. 10th goal of the season after another one at the weekend. And he is turning into a superstar. It's really weird how it's worked out there. We plan to start the season with Fofana and with Gonzalez as our first two choice wingers. And not only have Menina and Malajo become the first choice, they've actually become the stars of the club since Fuad left. The fact that we've had to change shape and focus on them since losing the best player in the centre has really helped them. And Medina's pace and trickery, Malajo's just timing and arrival at the back post, both have been crucial. As Diambu wins it back for Medina again, he's charging at the defence. We've become one of those quick, pacey counter-attacking teams. Not what I'd planned at all, but certainly very effective at the moment. We're 1-up with 5 to the break against Hamburg, and in truth, they've not been able to live with us. It's been a really good display. TNS level again against Young Boys of Switzerland, and we at half-time are looking really pleased, but we were 4-0 up against the Turkish side in the last game, and we still nearly threw it away. This at half-time, when they're clearly going to get the hairdryer treatment, will mean absolutely nothing at all. Just wanted to go down and see if there's any update on Varazdin yet. Doesn't look like it, as Pembele gets down the right for Hamburg. They'll come back into it here surely. They work down the right, great run. Tagzev wins the ball. Oh, he's not given a penalty for that. Please, for next year, please sort these animations out. Every time where the ball just deviates and goes out in a completely different direction, and then it's given as a penalty. Please, referee, see sense. Let the animation be right for once. No penalty. It was a good tackle. Now the question is, why did you give a penalty to start with, you donut? VAR saves the day. We don't often get to say that. With an hour gone, we stay 1-0 up, and we have still not faced a shot on target. But you can see at the bottom there, look at the morale. Come on, lads, you're 1-0 up against a big German side. Have a bit of faith in yourselves. We're going to get to the final 15 and then make some subs. And I think we're going to look quite sensibly here because Suslov is struggling in the 10. Zamardzic will come on there. In fact, I could bring on Fofana again. Go for experience. On the right, we'll then go for Gonzalez. I think going backwards, and Beto up front's not been great, so we'll bring on Timmy Cooper. Simic at left back and Diambu in the holding role. Diambu I'm not as worried about because we've got that other guy, Quezada, haven't we? So Simic will come off for Hugo Moraes. I hate bringing him on, but I'm going to have to do it. And then do I take Araujo off to protect him? I think I do here. Because, look, we can't afford to throw this away. And we can't afford Araujo to be injured for another few months. We need to try and get through in this group. It's great for the club. It's great financially. And this would be a huge 500 odd grand as well, as it's up to the back post from a set piece. And Aver, the 6'6" man, definitely looks a better partner than Clara physically. But I've got a feeling we might have to start the time wasting in a minute. I nearly brought the mug up with me just for it. On the right-hand side, we're doing the defensive work. The Joffrey playing out. Don't throw it away late on, boys. Not again. Pembele flies forward down that right. Into the box. It's 1-1. We don't get to time wasting stage. Now we've got to try and pick these lads up. Give them a bit of encouragement. But they're out on their feet. And it's either you play your first team on Thursday and have a European hangover, or you play your first team in a league and then get a hangover in Europe like this. As Fofana has got a free kick, it'll be pandemonium if he puts this in. Fode Fofana, good save Crumry. We know he's a good keeper, but it's out for a corner kick. And this is the final chance you feel. Tagzev will look for the two big centre-halves at the back. Can either Baishel or Aver get something on this? If they can they get it past Crumry? Because surely there'll be no time to come back. To the back post it goes. Pucklin's up. Of all people. The third choice one in the air gets there. But it's full time. It's 1-1. It's a great effort. We were the better side. We deserved the result. But it was a really decent performance. And again, it's just running out of steam late on. 4 points. Do you know what? That puts us down to 24th because we got the worst goal difference of the teams with only one defeat. And now I look at these fixtures and I think, where do the points come? Sarajevo's a chance, but it's away from home. And then at home, there's a lot of tough games left. This could be a very difficult few weeks. But We get 180 grand. That goal has cost us 500 grand. Do we get a result at home to Rangers or Braga? I think they're the only chances now. It's going to be a very interesting month or so, but we are showing a few more signs of consistency. It's starting to become a bit of a three-horse race at the top of the Croatian league. Varazdin, last year's champions, dropping away. Although, if they beat us in a week or two's time, that could change. But it's Rudez and it's Osijek who are chasing us down. Rudez have been nowhere near in recent seasons. We also face them in the Croatian Cup next week. We're also in a bit of a battle in the Europa League, as you've seen. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get through. Maybe the hope is we get 8 points and find a way to sneak in. That might be asking a bit much. If we go through to the schedule, though, you all know when we're going to be back. We have got big games coming up, and they start with a big doubleheader next month. Osijek, it is a home game, but they are one of the big rivals in a title push. And we've also got Hoffenheim away from home in the Europa League. We'll then probably do the last Europa League game in Rijeka away before transfer deadline day as well. That can be a bumper length special. But for now, if you did enjoy this one, a really good performance against Rijeka. I would argue probably our best of the season. One of the only ones where we've kept a clean sheet and had a real thumping as well. And the first time we've had a good win against a side in the bottom half. In fact, might even be one of the first games we have won against a side in the bottom half. We pipped Rijeka 2-1. We pipped Rudez 1-0. We lost to Varazdin. We drew with Istra. We lost to Osijek. We've struggled with the top half sides. So actually, that result might be better than it looks. And this division, certainly far more competitive than a lot of us thought. Hamburg give us a little bit of a late dampener at the end of the episode. But overall, I think it's a pretty good one. Let me know how you think we're shaping up, whether the tactical changes worked well or not. And should I throw the Croatian Cup in the hope of winning the league? Or should I go all out for the Cup and maybe give up the opportunity to win the title? What do you think? Trophy on the board, or do we go for the league over the long haul? If you want to stay up to date and find out how we get on in all competitions and see how we go against Osijek and Hoffenheim, two of the toughest sides we'll face domestically and in Europe all season, and please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back on Monday for that doubleheader, a bank holiday special after a live stream as well. We've also got something a little special coming this Sunday, completely unrelated to FM, but more about the channel in general. And there's also a big one from Southend United tomorrow. We had our transfer special yesterday. That's in the eye above. And we're back with a big end to the window when it comes to tomorrow's episode too. You can also find loads of live streams this weekend up in the eye above, both on the Twitch channel, where we've got a few from FM, and on the podcast channel, where we've got a live stream tonight from the EFL, as well as loads of prediction shows too. Come and get involved in all of those. Thank you very much for your support as always. It's going to be a tricky season. It's going to be tense in all competitions. But for now, there are signs of progress and there are a few returning from injury. So hopefully, in the months coming forward, there'll be more good days than bad ones. I'll see you next time to find out if we can have a good one there.